About making huge blockbuster hits that sell out. It's important to send a message, but to also engage and entertain you, the audiences. We would like to produce David Henry Huang's production of M Butterfly because we believe we can do just that. The basis for every aspect of our production is a solid concept. Gallimard's dominance over the Orient flutters out of his hands when he falls into Song's net. This concept touches all aspects of the design in the show, creating an appealing and moving piece of theater for all, especially in this day and age.
Extensive research into contemporary culture and society yields numerous criticisms that help bolster our concept, as well as support our production of M Butterfly. Throughout the modern world, gender roles are a huge barrier to progress, and Huang draws like a direct connection between the dominant male West and the submissive female East. Some nations, like Gallimard, Iran for instance, remain content in these primitive states of stereotypical orthodoxy, but playwrights like Huang seek to warn people of this closed-minded trap.
When looking at our concept as well as the various cultural references, we began to design the various technical elements behind M Butterfly. For costuming, we started with a bunch of concept images for Song, as well as many pictures, several pictures of male outfits from the 60s. We then moved into several stages of costume rendering and sketches until finally we made our final designs. For Song, she starts out in a full kimono with flowing sleeves symbolizing her femininity. This slowly moves to a kimono with shorter sleeves and eventually a full suit. Gallimard's costume moves from a full traditional suit with a cane umbrella all the way to a prison outfit with flowing sleeves similar to that of Song's kimono in Act 2. The cane is also a symbol of his transfer from gender role power because the cane is seen as a masculine symbol. However, since it's an umbrella, it is often connected with femininity and the Chinese women. The reversal of gender roles are clearly seen in the costume.
For our set design, we decided to designate stage right to represent France and the masculine dominance, whereas stage left is designated towards the Chinese femininity. We decided to have a bridge in the middle connecting the two worlds. Stage left is slightly lower, signifying the dominance of the West over the East. In the very last scene, when Gallimard commits suicide, the two sides will shift so that the East is over the West, representing the power of the East over the West in the very end. We decided to make Gallimard's prison slightly lower down in the pit so that he was able to be present during his entire performance that he's in his dream. We also decided to do cutaway walls, and this way, the background, you can see Notre Dame with the French embassy scene, representing also the masculinity of the French architecture, whereas during the Chinese Opera House, you'd be able to see the magnolia tree in the background, representing the femininity of the Orient. We also decided to go with more masculine colors on the French dominant side, like dark blues, dark reds, also like a light pink and a light yellow for the Chinese side, representing femininity, and more neutral colors in the jail.
For lighting, we also researched a lot of the different cultures. The French culture, we found that a lot of the colors they used were the more masculine colors, like deep red, dark purple, and so we wanted to go along with the stereotype on the French side of using masculine colors. For China, there's a lot more vibrant colors used in their culture within the clothes and the architecture, so we stayed with the feminine colors, the bright pinks and purples. We also decided to use a window gobo for the China side in Song's apartment, with tree branches coming through so you could see the magnolia trees and the nice curves. We also used a bar gobo for the jail scene for obvious reasons. He's in a jail showing his entrapment.
Okay, for sound, the song that you heard at the beginning, Oriental Man, that you're hearing now, I've chosen as a love theme between Song and Gallimard. I'm trying to show hints of the subversion of Gallimard's belief of dominance, because this song is actually Japanese, not Chinese, and that ties back to the Japanese subject of the Western opera and how Gallimard sees Song as his little butterfly, and so that kind of ties back to the whole Western, he thinks he's dominant, but the fact that the song is Asian really gives Song the power in the relationship. And then another song I want to play, Il est bel et bon. Do you have a question?
5 minutes.
Oh, sorry. Il est bel et bon during the scenes that Gallimard has with Martin Toulon, because this will sort of indicate that his French, dominance is he's feeling masculine during these scenes. He feels like he has power. But the name of the song, Il est bel et bon, actually means he is handsome or beautiful and good, and that reflects the song's true gender, and that insinuates the song really knows what's going on. And the last thing I want to do is play a flutter sound effect at key points in the play, like certain lines. For instance, when Song requests to keep his clothes at the beginning, or when Comrade Shin enters, because this will show that at these points it'll hint at the fact that Gallimard's dominance is fluttering out of his hands, and he doesn't realize it.
Alright, this is our poster we're using for the publicity that we showed you at the beginning. You see the female Song looking at her male reflection in a mirror, which reflects our idea of the transfer of gender roles in the show. You can also see those on our playbill, so if you all will pass those down now. Inside of the playbill, you will see a director's note, which gives you a general overview of our concept, as well as a cast list of our very wonderfully talented cast. We've also created a Facebook page. You all can go to the page and find a collection of photos, some from our PowerPoint, some additional photos, as well as our mini-series documentary. It's a 4-part series, and we'll add our presentation later that guides you through our process of coming up with our design. Right now, there are over 110 members in the group, and we just opened it up to all of you.
The main idea of M Butterfly is preconceived gender roles can blind those with power, leading them to ruin. The main idea is evident in our concept, which was Gallimard's dominance over the Orient flutters out of his hands when he falls into Song's net. Our concept and main idea are supported by a lot of technical aspects, such as the reversible power in costumes, the different levels in the sets, harsh and soft lighting, and various sounds and songs. We also have a lot of analytical and artistic perceptions of M Butterfly, written by David Henry Wang. Our concept is also reiterated by our presentation. As you can see, the men and the women in our group have switched sides. This shows the reversal of dominance in the East and West and Butterfly.
Questions?
I have a question about the stage.
Yes.
Is it Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana?
There's one.
Yeah, that Notre Dame is actually there. Oh. Good question. Any other?
I just have a question about the butterfly wings during the production. Do you think that the sound effect during it would hinder the playwright's original intent, since it wasn't specified in the script that there needed to be that sound effect?
We don't think it will. If we have the sound effect played softly enough, Kelly, do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, I was planning to play after their lines or at certain points, so it's not going to bother what's being said. And yes, it will be soft, so we're trying to hit something and not make it be a big deal.
Sammy?
I'm just, what is the setting of the period year?
We are keeping it with the setting that was originally written in the script. What? Whoever would like to go first.
What sort of stage do you plan on using?
We decided to use just your typical proscenium stage
And the jail would be in the pit.
in the pit.
Yeah.
Forgive me if you've already answered this question, but I'm going to ask you what I asked group 2. How is this culturally relevant to us right now, today, in society?
Most of the articles that I read, if you see lots of nations that have these preconceived gender role stereotypes, and as far as I ran, the paper that I read, it was if they're all aware of these, but they're still staying content in them, and it's sort of people's acceptance of them. That word.
So is your play about gender roles then, or is that?
The reversal of accepted gender roles.
Right.
Gallimard believes in these gender roles, and that's what leads to his downfall as Song flutters out of his hands.
Because it wasn't